Good afternoon for everyone. My name is Marcelo. I'm working for Infineon microcontrollers, ARM, and RX for industrial applications. So in this seminar, we'll talk about the security applications for IoT, involving the software side with microcontrollers and the hardware side with our OPTIGA devices and some combined solutions. So as I mentioned, the agenda will be the challenge around IoT and security solutions. Then we'll go over what Infineon can offer for your application in IoT and industrial and consumer applications. Then we go over the XMC solutions, the microcontroller itself with a software safety solution. Then I will pass to my colleague Andreas, that will talk about the OPTIGA solutions and embedded hardware security, so it's a real security device for your application. Then we'll talk about some software and development tools, and then the team from Rutronik will explain to you how you can get more information and availability of these solutions. Okay. So talking about our first topic, that is security challenge in Infineon solutions. So you know that Internet of Things and in Industry 4.0 is a big topic today. You must be connected in the next decade to be part of this revolution. So, but at the same time, we have some doubts in our minds. So related to factory automation, building automation, power energy, home automation, how I can protect my device, how I can protect my intellectual property, how I can avoid hacker, how I can have a safe and secure communication. Especially on the secure part, it's still a lot of doubts from our customers. So we created this webinar to address these doubts and try to show you what Infineon as a one-stop shop solution can offer for your solution, either in IoT or in Industry 4.0. So talking about the portfolio from Infineon to these applications, today we'll focus on two major solutions from Infineon, that is the microcontroller solutions with a software safety solution, security solution proposal. Then we'll talk about OPTIGA solutions, that is a hardware secure solution that my colleague Andreas will talk about later on. And then the combined solution. So the combined solution can be a really powerful solution to your application, because then you will be covered from the software and the hardware standpoint. So then you have a higher level of security for your application. Talking a little bit deeper about the software side, we'll go over the microcontrollers. So as I explained before, we split it in two parts this presentation, in fact 3 ones, because we have the combined part. But we'll talk about first the microcontroller with the software solution. This software solution means that you are able to protect your intellectual property with some key generators to avoid copy and protect your intellectual property in your application, okay? So what is XMC? XMC is our ARM-based microcontrollers. We have Cortex M0 and Cortex M4 available. So we have a huge scalability inside these families, go up to 200K of flash on Cortex M0 and goes up to 2 megabytes of flash on Cortex M4. And we are addressing more or less 4 major markets in these things, because XMC has specific peripherals to address these specific markets. So these 4 markets are lighting, motor control, power conversion, DC-DC and AC-DC inverters, and industrial communication and gateways. Okay, so for these devices we have a complete broad portfolio and long-term availability until 2031. So then you can guarantee that we will be covered with parts at least until then. So talking a little bit about the portfolio, as I explained, we have a portfolio with a Cortex M0 that called XMC1000 family, and we have the ARM Cortex M4 XMC4000 family. Also, we have the AURIX platform that we're not touching today, that is for safety and CAN-FD application. So it's a higher performance device with a proprietary tri-core CPU, but we are not touching these devices, these complex devices today. So XMC1000 and XMC4000 should be the perfect match when you have to protect your IP and you have a powerful CPU addressing lightning, motor control, power conversion, and industrial communication. Okay? Going a little bit further and talking about what really is the subject of this webinar, we're talking about how we can protect and secure our IP inside XMC1000. In fact, XMC1000 family, our Cortex M0, they have a SBSL unity that the IP of this hardware part of the XMC, it's part of the chip card division here. So we have a key generator inside the XMC1000 family. So how it works, okay? Let's suppose that you have to outsource your production and you want to protect your IP. So then you have one evaluation board with a smart card that generates the customer key and the encrypted key to your software. So combining these two solutions, I will explain later on, you can avoid that your third party use your X file in other boards or copy your product in the field. So then you can make sure that your intellectual property is covered. We have some few commercial terms that we can discuss together with Rutronik about the minimum order quantity of 50,000 units and the evaluation trial of this kit because it's a special kit. But we can make it happen easily. This solution is already deployed in different kits and different customers already. So we are proud of that it's very easy to go solution for your customers. Okay. Talking about XMC4000. XMC4000, unfortunately, we don't have the hardware SBSL generator code. But we have a partner called Weeble Systems that they use the floating point units and other peripherals from XMC4000 to generate the same key encryption. So you can have the same trusted environment in XMC4000 using our partner's solution. Okay, then you can contact straight Rutronik, either Infineon or Weeble Systems. So you can access for more information in their website, but it's kind of the same solution of XMC1000. The only difference is that they use the different peripherals to generate the encryption keys. So just an example, let's suppose that you want to program your part with the secure bootloader key, and then you have the option of XMC S series. Why it's called S series? It's because you already have the SBSL peripheral embedded and waiting for this key generated by the chip card. So when you receive the kit, you receive the kit with this smart card plus an envelope like you use with your credit card from your bank account with a PIN number. Once you open the kit, you plug in the smart card, you enter this PIN number. When you enter this PIN number combined with the smart card generates a unique secure key. Okay, so this first secure key you put inside your X file on the Dave or any IDE that you're using to program. This X file will work as a password combined with your secure key. Then you have your crypto, let's use this term, X file. This file will be the one that you pass to your third party or to your production line to program your microcontroller. In parallel, this smart card will provide you a second encrypted key. This second encrypted key you will use inside the microcontroller to decrypt the hardware, the X file, sorry, in hardware. So this second key you load by SBSL, and this SBSL combines the X file with this key to decrypt the complete X file. So then you have a hardware locked decryption of the X file. Looks like a little bit complicated, but it's very simple to use. So once you have the kit with the smart card, you just create the key with the pin, and then the kit can help you to encrypt the X file and to have the key for the decryption of that. So in fact, you have two levels of software security, because you have two encrypted keys based on this smart card plus the PIN number, okay? So the level of software security is really, really high. However, the protection of the software, we know that sometimes is not enough. You must have some device that aggregates some other level of security in terms of hardware, in terms of authentication, and in terms of communication. So for this solution, I will pass the presentation to my colleague Andreas, that will talk about the OPTIGA and other solutions from Infineon.
Thank you, Marcelo. My name is Andreas Steiner, and I'm Field Application Engineer at Infineon Chip Card Security Division. And now I want to tell you how you can further enhance your system with hardware trust anchors with our OPTIGA embedded security solutions. So our hardware trust anchors are the Trust B and the Trust E for simple authentication. When it comes to more difficult use cases, we have the Trust X and the Trust P, for example, for secure communication or secure firmware updates. And we have the OPTIGA TPM for most advanced security and very, very complex systems. The principle of our OPTIGA devices is that all secret keys and also other secret data that you may have in your application is stored within the OPTIGA and never leaves the OPTIGA. So we also insert key material, so a public and private key pair, in our secure and certified production facilities. This offers you personalized security, and you don't have any non-recurring engineering costs. The OPTIGAs are turnkey solutions, where we not only provide the chip itself, but also some host code, which eases implementation for our customers. But what that exactly means, I will explain in the next slides. So, why do you need hardware security? We have more and more devices that get connected to each other, but also connected to the cloud. And we have some values that we want to protect. And these values usually are authenticity, confidentiality, and integrity. Authenticity means that when one device is talking to another or to the cloud, that it can be really sure that the other device is the one that it pretends to be. Confidentiality means that nobody is able to read data when he's not really allowed to do so. Integrity means that something is in a trusted state. This can mean that a device is in a trusted state, but also that communication from one party to another is not manipulated in any case through distribution channel. In our example here, we have a smart device with a microcontroller, with an XMC in this case, and with an OPTIGA security chip. We also have here a connection to the cloud. we now want to have a look how to protect confidentiality, integrity, and authenticity in this scenario, in this setup. First, authenticity. As said before, we have the personalization of our OPTIGAs within Infineon's secure and security certified production facilities. This means that there is already, after production, a digital certificate, which you can see on the right here, and a private key in the device. The private key always corresponds to the public key inside of the certificate. This certificate and the private key can now be used to authenticate to a remote party, for example, to the cloud, but also when you have, not in this example, but for example, when you have a printer cartridge, then you can authenticate the printer cartridge to a printer to show that this is a genuine device and it has a genuine OPTIGA trust inside. The next thing is confidentiality. First thing is that inside of our OPTIGAs, we have some storage for sensitive data, which is only a little bit, but still better than to store something in plain MCU. And second, with the OPTIGAs, we are able to establish a secure communication from the OPTIGA end-to-end to, for example, the host or to remote cloud application. And for this establishment, no secret keys have to be given to the host or to someone else. They always stay inside of the protected and certified hardware. With this secure channel, it's also possible to transfer a secure firmware update securely to the smart device. Inside the smart device, that firmware update can be verified and then installed in the application MCU. Last but not least, we want to maintain also the integrity of the system. And this can be done with secure firmware updates, which we already mentioned. And also, you can establish a secure boot chain. This means that the entire boot chain is measured. The results are stored in the OPTIGA devices, and they are compared to a known good status that is stored inside of the OPTIGA. If the results match the known good status, then the device is in a trusted state, and that also can be reported, for example, to a remote server. So I showed the different security features that can be implemented. Now let's have a closer look onto the portfolio with which of our OPTIGA devices you can implement which features. First, let's start with the OPTIGA Trust B and the OPTIGA Trust E. They are both only made for simple one-way authentication. So like the example with the printer cartridge, just the printer cartridge will authenticate to the printer and say, hey, I'm a genuine device, I have an OPTIGA embedded, and then the printer will allow to use the ink from the printer cartridge. The OPTIGA Trust B offers a little less security than the Trust E, but is also, of course, a little bit cheaper. They both have a little bit of NVM data that you can use to store some data. Both have elliptic curve cryptography. The Trust E a little longer curves with 256-bit. And both are used usually together with plain MCU without OS. And therefore, we offer from Infineon side a host library in C that you can use with your individual device, but we also have a library that is compiled for the XMC. The OPTIGA Trust B has a single wire interface, Trust E I2C. If you have more sophisticated use cases, you can use the OPTIGA Trust X, which is like the Trust E based on certified hardware. You have here some different use cases. So you're able to establish a secure channel via DTLS. You're able to do secure firmware updates, and you're able to do secure boot. You even have a little more secure NVM. You have a little longer elliptic curves than in the Trust E, and Trust X also comes with a command library for embedded Linux, and it has also an I2C interface. The next one is the OPTIGA Trust P. The OPTIGA Trust P stands for programmable. It is also based on certified hardware, and with the OPTIGA Trust P, you're more or less able to implement your own use case however you want or you need for your application. So you have a Java card platform, and you can make use of all the crypto coprocessors, random number generators that are available on the hardware. You have elliptic curves and RSA cryptography available. You have a UART interface, and OPTIGA Trust P is also recommended for either embedded Linux or for a simply microcontroller as a host or application controller. Last but not least, you have the OPTIGA TPM, which is common criteria EAL4+ certified, and is also TCG compliant. We have the TPM 1.2 and 2.0, and you have different interfaces like I2C, SPI, and LPC. For the OPTIGA TPM, we do not support any host code. That host code is available in the open source community from all the big players, like for example from Intel. So you heard a few advantages of Infineon's OPTIGA family. What can you do with the OPTIGA family? What use cases can you realize? But there are some more advantages which are maybe not clear at first sight, so I want to mention them here. Of course, first thing is that hardware-based security offers strong and tamper-proof protection. So any data within the controllers can neither be read out nor changed. And it's not that Infineon claims that. We have independent certifications, for example, from the BSI, from the German German organization. Then secure implementation. Infineon has plenty of experience in designing and also programming secure applications. So you don't need to take care of the implementation yourself, for example, of the crypto algorithms, because if you're not really an expert in that, implementing it by yourself can lead to serious security flaws, and it's also a major effort for you. Also, when you don't need to take care of the secure implementation, you can save a lot of time. And this, of course, also results in a shorter time to market for your product. As you have seen, the OPTIGA family offers a solution for every use case. So we have very, very scalable solutions, from very simple one-way of authentication with the Trust B to very sophisticated systems like computers with the OPTIGA TPM. As I already mentioned before, the initial key. Next point is before performance. Of course, our chips are not the most performant, but with that level of security, you can only reach sufficient performance with the right crypto coprocessors. And in this case, the coprocessors and the entire chip has been designed to be, at first, of course, very secure, but then also very performant for that high level of security. And when you use our security solutions, you also don't need to think about innovation. When you use our solutions, you always have the latest security that is also certified. As I mentioned before, we insert initial key pairs in our secure production facilities. This results in the fact that our customers, that you don't need to set up secure personalization, which gives you also very good logistical benefits. And last but not least, you as our customers also save costs. This may at the first sight seem a little strange, but if you compare the little price tag of one of the OPTIGAs to developing your own secure application, hiring some experts to do so, and to set up secure production facilities or personalization facilities, the price of one single OPTIGA is not that high. So here you can see all the benefits again: security, secure implementation, time to market. We have very scalable solutions, high performance for that level of security. You always have to have the latest security. You also have logistical benefits, and you also save costs. So where are our OPTIGAs usually in action? We have, for example, energy and infrastructure, which are very security critical, of course, when they get connected. There you would most likely use in all the PCs and terminals an OPTIGA TPM. Then you have the industrial area, where you have a lot of applications. There, of course, computers can be secured by a TPM, industrial controls by a TrustX, and simple devices like sensors can be equipped with a TrustE or a TrustB to authenticate to a server or to authenticate to some kind of control unit. Even in mobility, we see more and more demand. For example, the TPM is getting more and more interesting for automotive customers. For the consumer market, we can have a closer look on the next slide. And here you see you have, for example, in the middle of the picture, the gateway, which can contain an XMC and also an OPTIGA TPM. You have communication to some kind of server, maybe for some smart home applications, or a network that would be also equipped with a TPM. You could have some basic peripherals, like on the left-hand side, the washing machine, which just need to authenticate with TrustB or TrustE. You would have also some end nodes, like the light bulb in the right up corner, which can, of course, be equipped with the XMC, because it's one of the core strengths of the XMC, together maybe with TrustB or TrustE. And then, for example, an uninterruptible power supply, which could be equipped with the XMC as well, and with a TrustX. If you have any kind of batteries, disposables, like ink cartridges, like water filters for a water filter system, you could use there the TrustB. So now I want to hand over to David Wertwein. Oh no, sorry. I want to hand over to Marcelo again to take the first part of the support and development tools for XMC.
Thanks, Andreas. And so, as you can see, Infineon can offer you the complete solution, as we described at the beginning, from the software hand side to the hardware hand side, or either in combined solution, and as Andreas just explained it, in different nodes and different points. So it's up to you to decide at which level of security you need in your device. So, and from Infineon side, to support you on that, we have many different evaluation kits. So here in the screen, you can see the XMC kits. You have different types of XMC 1000 and 4000 kits for different applications. So you have either for simple basic boards, to the Arduino shields, to the complete turnkey solution like motor control, RGB Arduino, Digital Power Explorer, DALI 2.0, and automation kits. So XMC is a focusing line together with Aurix for Infineon. We are getting a lot of traction on these devices, and combined with devices like OPTIGA, you can see that you can blast in your application. Talking a little bit deeper on one evaluation kit that Infineon is launching together with other divisions like OPTIGA, like Isophase, like others inside Infineon, low power LDOs. We have our automation board available on the web today. The launch will be made next month on SPS drives, and some other ones in embedded world next year. But this kit basically is an industrial gateway that you have an XMC 4800 with EtherCAT that you can use for industrial communication, plus a CAN communication and interfaces in 24 volts. And in this board, we have a OPTIGA Trust E part that you can test it for the secure side. So Marcelo, I want to have a test with XMC and OPTIGA combined. So you can go to infineon.com/automation kit, and then you have this kit available today. Okay. So Marcelo, I need more information about XMC. I noticed a lot of new things going around XMC, the new Dave, the new motor control library, DALI 2.0, security things IoT with OPTIGA. Where I can find this information? So in the presentation that you have now and in the handout later on, you have the links to find out more information about XMC, about our IDE Dave, about software and tool ecosystem, partners, so on, and also technical forums and support. So anything you need is there in this link. Anything you need else, you can contact Rutronik or myself. Okay. Now I'll hand again to Andreas to talk about the solutions and what the user can find more information about OPTIGA.
Thank you, Marcelo. For the OPTIGA devices, always your first information site should be the Rutronik website. If you want further information to the OPTIGAs, for example, application notes, short product information, you can also visit infineon.com/OPTIGA. If you want some evaluation boards to test out the different OPTIGAs, you can order them at Rutronik. We have evaluation boards for every single OPTIGA that I presented. And if you need real technical documentation, that is unfortunately only available for most of the OPTIGAs under NDA. But you can contact CCS Technical Support at Infineon.com, where I and my colleagues will support you, either for example, the myICP access, where you can find the really technical data sheets that are under NDA. But also, if you have more questions that are not covered by some kind of documentation, you can always contact us through this email address. So now I want to hand over to David from Rutronik to start the session about Rutronik.
Thank you, Andreas. My name is David Gattwein, and I'm a product marketing manager for microcontroller at Rutronik. My colleague René Hermans, sitting next to me, he's the product marketing manager for wireless parts. Today we would like to introduce Rutronik to you. In this first slide, I show you the facts about Rutronik. We are a broadline distributor for all kinds of electric components with a big product portfolio. Worldwide, we are the 10th biggest distributor, in Europe even the 3rd biggest. Our president today is Helmut Rudl. He founded Rutronik in 1973. Since then we are in private ownership. Helmut Rudl is still part of the company, and his son Thomas Rudl is our CEO today. Our headquarters is based in Isbringen. This is in the south of Germany. Our warehouse is based in Eisingen, close to Isbringen. The turnover of the company was last year around about $1 billion. Hopefully we reach the 1 billion euro this year. Well, there are a few weeks left, so we do our best to reach it. Furthermore, we have more than 30 subsidiaries in Germany, Europe, and the rest of the world. This is a big advantage for you. Wherever you are located, a Rutronik office should be close. We have more than 30,000 customers worldwide. Due to our subsidiaries, we can provide local support from our sales, marketing, and field application engineer teams. In our headquarters, we have centralized marketing teams for all kinds of parts. Those guys have a deep knowledge in the product and they are able to answer your questions. So we are able to provide worldwide the same support. René will show you later on another slide about our support structure. Yeah, and the last point, we have worldwide 3 logistics centers. One is in America, one in China, and the last one in Germany. In this slide, you can see the location of our offices. At the moment, we have 70 offices worldwide. A lot of them are in Germany and Europe, but we already have some business in Asia and America. And of course, we try to increase. So we are working on getting more and more global in the next couple of years. We are shipping our products worldwide according to German quality standards. Due to our logistics centers in America, China, and Germany, we can provide worldwide the same quality and logistics to all of our customers. It doesn't matter where you are located. On this slide, I will show you our 3 types of sales. We have 3 different sales organizations. The first one is our Rutronik 24 sales team. This is our e-commerce where our customers are able to buy their parts in our online shop. You're able to visit the shop on rutronik24.com. Additionally, they also care about our new customers. The second sales organization are our worldwide subsidiaries with regional sales teams. We have in a lot of countries some offices where our regional sales teams are located. So this organization is our usual sales type, and the advantage for the customer is that we can provide a close customer support. The last sales type is our global key account management. This organization cares about our most important customers. Well, the benefits for our customers are that we have a wide spectrum of logistic services from small to high quantity demands. And the second point is that we can provide worldwide the same technical and logistical support for all kinds of customers. Okay, the next slide shows the product assignment where we are active in. Just to give you a short estimation, we have 2 big segments which are automotive and industrial. This is more than 90% of our current business. The 2 smaller segments are communication and consumer. At the moment, we invest a lot of time in topics like IoT and security, so maybe this chart could change a little bit in the next few years. Okay, now I would like to hand over to René. He will show you a bit more about the product lifecycle, the technical support structure, and our online solutions. Thank you so far.
Thank you, David. Hi from my side, and I want to show you today our support and technical structure, with whom we want to understand the customer's needs and support them in the best way possible. On this slide, you can see our idea of product lifecycle, as we have seen in it and experienced it in the market today. The customers today don't need to visit him with a suitcase full of data sheets or reports. What he really needs are a partner with the right ideas and ideal fit-in solutions. That's why we as Rutronik supported our customers in all their demands, from finding a solution with the right products, provide him the exact logistical support he needs to the certification of his products. So you can see, with us as a distribution partner, you will be very flexible in the complete process of development and production of your products. In fact, of our worldwide network all over the world, qualified manpower, as mentioned before. Let's have a look what I meant with manpower.
In order to reach a better result and support of our customers the best way possible, we have a split of our technical support team in 3 divisions, as you can see on this slide. Our field application engineers, who are well known in all types of technologies, will provide you a complete range covering technical support. That means that they can support you in approximately 70% of all your requirements and introduce you to the best fitting solution or technology. We as the product management team, acting as your direct support contact in all kind of technical questions relating to the product or their documentation. As well as we can provide you the fastest way to get directly in touch with the right person at the suppliers, if this is necessary. For all cases, the combined knowledge of our field application engineers and us product managers will not answer your question. You will be supported by our special FAE division. With their deep and comprehensive knowledge of the technologies, you will get definitely the support you needed. So you see, we have specialists for you who can take care of all kind of support a customer will need from the start of the development till the end, till the point of the mass production. Now, and in this slide, I would like to introduce you to our division structure in case of responsibility for the products you have seen in this presentation. My colleague David Wertwein is focused mainly on the Infineon microcontrollers like XMC series, the RX series, and the motor control ICs. And I'm mainly focusing on the OPTIGA families like the TPM and the Trust. As I said on the last slide, we are the right persons to contact in all cases you need more information for the products that you can't read online. Especially for the OPTIGA family, especially for the OPTIGA parts, you have seen before, the process to find the right solution for your product will not be that easy, as you have seen in Andreas' slides. But with our help, and we will be glad to support you to find the right solution for that. At last, like Andreas mentioned, our websites. With our Rutronik websites, we want to make it easier for all our customers to reach all needed information fast and easy. On our homepage, Rutronik, rutronik.com, you can find all the information you would like to know about us, our products, or probably to work with us. For everyone who wants to get product or software releases at first, or would like to chat with other people who are interested in their products and the technologies, our Rutronik tech site is exactly the right for him. Our Rutronik 24 site will provide you a fast overview about all products in every technologies. Additionally, you can see the availability and the prices of the products, and you have the choice to order them directly on the site. As mentioned before from Andreas, that's the site where you can order the parts or the EVVs directly, so the evaluation boards. Just visit our website and enjoy how easy you can reach all information you want to get. And now, our presentation part is over, and I would like to introduce you to our question and answer session, where you can ask us everything we don't talk about. Thank you.
Okay, gentlemen, thanks for that presentation. So let's go ahead and take a look at some of the questions from our audience today. Our first question is, could you tell us some of the advantages of XMC and OPTIGA to your applications?
I can take this one. It's Marcelo speaking. Then maybe Andreas can complement with something. But as I explained at the beginning of the web seminar, we want you customers see Infineon as a one-stop shop provider. So either on the power side, in the sensing side, microcontrollers, and security side. So what is the advantage to have XMC and OPTIGA in the same solution? Since we are in the same company, we talk each other, we develop things together, and we are always trying to enhance our applications together. So once you select to have both parts in your board, you can have two commitments inside Infineon to provide you together with the distributor the best solution to your application, the best customized solution for your application. Besides the drivers that Andreas already said that they have developed for XMC specifically. So, Andreas, you want to add something to that?
Not really. I just want to emphasize that really the development of our host code that we offer for the different OPTIGA devices was really done on an XMC device. So that is really the origin. I mean, we have it for every single microcontroller, but it's clearly optimized for the XMC.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Thank you. Next question. Someone asked, what type of secure solution can be implemented using XMC devices?
Yeah, in the XMC side, you have always the protection of IP. So we are not talking about communication or about firmware update over the air or over network. Like Andreas said, this one is the OPTIGA function here. But in XMC part, you can protect your IP with a crypto key. In fact, two crypto keys created specifically for one type of device that you put in your X file and for some specific quantity of devices. So let's suppose that you will be outsourcing the production of your boards, and you want to make sure that these guys will produce 1,000 boards as you order to them. They will not produce 2,000 and sell 1,000 in the market. So when you create the firmware with your key, you can protect this number of programming parts and the part number that should be programmed. So then you make sure that your third party will just produce these 1,000 pieces. And since these keys are generated in more than 256 bits, then you have a higher level of security on these ones. So this is the part of XMC that you can make sure that your intellectual property will be covered for your application.
Okay, great. Thank you. Next question. Is all the software of OPTIGA publicly available, and where do you get access to them?
As I said before, some of the documentation for our OPTIGA products, for example, for the OPTIGA Trust B, is publicly available. For the software, especially for the host code, it is a little bit different. There, of course, we will first have a look who is contacting us. Not everybody is getting access, but every serious customer who has an NDA with us, which is not really a problem, it's just a matter of a few days. Everybody of them can contact Rutronik first or can come directly to us, and we will then grant access to the host code and all other software that is required to use our OPTIGA devices. For the eval kits, it's a little bit different. If you have an eval kit, the software will already be on the kit, or at least you will get the software together with the evaluation kit, and you can start right away.
Okay, great. Another question here is, what is the security certification and what are the advantages? In general, the security certification just means that not Infineon is claiming, hey, this product is secure, but Infineon has an independent third party, like in Germany, for example, the BSI, which is doing the common criteria certifications. And that third party is really testing the security devices, so in this case, our OPTIGAs, very thoroughly
to reduce any occurrence of possible bugs or flaws. So nobody's able to read out keys with any common or known method, and the devices are as secure as possible. That's the technical point, but of course there is also a marketing point. When you or your customers say, hey, we have an OPTIGA certified security solution, then of course it also adds further value to your product, because your customers can trust you more because they know you have embedded the latest security, and you really did everything to protect your product. And yeah.
All right. Let's take a look at one more question. Is there a specific protocol communication between the MCU and OPTIGA?
That is more or less exactly the software stack that I was already referring to once or twice. So we developed software or host code on the XMC, which is then basically depending on the interface we are talking about. For example, for the OPTIGA Trust E, we have this host code. The host code will transfer a command that you call at the XMC into the I2C stream, byte stream, send it to the OPTIGA, and the OPTIGA, in this case the Trust E, will then know, okay, I have to send my certificate. And that's basically how the XMC and the OPTIGA are talking to each other. That's the protocol. Anything to add from your side, Marcelo?
Andrea, I think that one point to highlight is the physical interface. OPTIGA devices are using I2C and SPI interface to communicate to the microcontroller. I'm not quite sure which one is using what, but the OPTIGA Trust E and OPTIGA Trust X use what kind of interface, I2C or SPI, or both?
They use I2C both.
I2C, good. So yeah, in this case, it's clear that besides the driver that Andreas just described, you have a physical interface that is the most common one, and you have in most of the microcontrollers available. So there is no security, no differentiation interface or proprietary one, so it's easy to connect OPTIGA to XMC to any other microcontrollers and solutions.
Okay, great. Once again, gentlemen, thank you for your presentation and your time today. And thank you to all of our audience members for joining us today. Take care and have a great rest of your day.